Avengers Endgame Egghead News Podcast Daily Review. Ladies and gentlemen, the big one is here. This is bigger than Godzilla, if that's even possible. I think his name is King Ghidorah. Did y'all see those? Did y'all see that trailer? Anyway, not to take the mind off the topic and the topic off the mind. This is Tracy Spivey here with Egghead News Podcast Daily Avengers Endgame Review. And with me, we have the trifecta, the old school, the original school, back to the caveman, prehistoric, Jurassic Park. That's right, we got them both here. Pablo, say it twice, Solano.
I told you so, and I told you so.
That what an interest. And ladies and gentlemen, is Brooklyn in the house. That's right. Brooklyn Bridge. Freddie? Mahoney?
Yeah, what's good, people?
What's going on, Fred?
Told us what? What you told us so about what, Pablo?
Uh-oh, here we go. That's how they start in, boys and girls. They coming in swinging. They coming in swinging. Unlike the negative or no Hulk coming in swinging Thanos fight that we didn't get. I'm totally upset about that, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to go down in the history books. You talk about a heartbreak. You talk about a Dear John letter. You talk about your girl cheating with your best friend. What the hell was that? But anyway, I don't even want to go there. Let's start off at the beginning, boys and girls. Round robin. We're going to start off with first. Out of 10 stars, what do you give this movie? Pablo?
I give it a 9.
And when we say 9, ladies and gentlemen, we're comparing it to the great ones. The Matrix, Empire Strikes Back, Jaws, the first Indiana Jones. We're putting it up there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Why you gave it a 9 instead of a 10?
Because of that Hulk thing.
Man, every time you ask him a question, it's going to be the same answer I'm going to give, man. Why do you always ask him first?
Well, let me hear what he got to say. Let me hear what he got to say, Brooklyn. See, Brooklyn ready to jump. Brooklyn ready to jump in front of everybody.
So you don't give it a perfect score because of that, right?
I give it a 9 too. I get a 9.5 for the same reason. Listen, we all and everyone else who saw that movie, trust me, in the theaters, they were whispering, "What happened to the Hulk?" A lot of people were saying that they were whispering that. Wait, what happened? That's it? When he started to fade and turn to dust, he was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, that's it? Wait, what happened to the Hulk?" So yes, I do give it a 9, maybe 9.5 because of that, because of Thor looking like the Big Lebowski. You know, when he comes walking into the headquarters, walking with the sweater and got the shades. I'm like, wait a minute, that's Jeff Bridges.
And that robe, yo, he got the old drunk uncle robe on. That shit was hilarious.
That's Jeff Bridges.
But that's not for this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know where we slipped. This Thor character acting exposition that Mr. Hemsworth can do all things at all times. That's great, but that's not for this movie. This movie was tunnel vision. This was about get Thanos. What are we doing? What is this? The only character that stayed true to pose, true to original movie. That's right, Steve Rogers, Captain America. He never wavered. He never faltered. He was Captain America until the very end. Thor's walking around with a nightgown.
Although there
slippers.
are people out there saying that Captain America's decision to stay back in the past was a selfish decision. Because he probably
I never heard that one. I didn't hear that one.
I heard that one.
Is that out there? Are you serious?
Yep.
That's out there?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
Wow. But Pablo, you still answer my question. Why is this a 9?
Yeah, I did, because of the Hulk. Because of the Hulk situation.
No. So other than that, everything else was perfect. Everything else was perfect.
Perfect.
You didn't like the fact that Tony cowered and said he didn't want to go back. He didn't want to build a time machine, even though he was doing it on his own. You didn't like that. So that didn't bother you. You didn't like the fact.
For Tony, it seemed, for many people, especially Thor and Tony, they thought that's it. This is what it is, and this is what we got to live with. And that's it. They didn't know of a possibility.
right.
And when it was presented,
Cap's character was never written that way. Captain America's character was never written that way. Captain America's character was never give up. Never give up. You're trying to say Thor fell into a stupor, a drunken, lost. And not because he lost in Infinity War. It's because he lost everything. Thor started losing from Ragnarok. But Thor gained potential in Infinity War, and then the writers just brought him right back down to the pit.
So everything that piled up on him, basically just made him the way how he was when they found him, basically, right?
Think about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about it in Infinity War, how he was. Think about it in Infinity War, how it was with him in terms of how he was feeling when he was talking to Rocket Raccoon. This was the last straw. When Thanos was able to do what he set out to do, they failed. So Thor felt like, it's just, it can't get any worse from here. Basically suffering from PTSD.
As Rocket said in the movie, well, he's a failure.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
When you got a talking Build-A-Bear telling you, you're a failure.
But you know what? All in all, to me, the movie was wonderful. I mean, it was awesome. I got goosebumps. I got chills, coming towards the end. I project the movie as definitely a farewell. This is the end of this phase. And there were so many things said and shown to indicate that. And that's how I took it. I took it as they're saying to us, the audience, you got to move on. This is it.
Yeah. I know. I mean, yeah.
And that was fine. And some people were saying like, it started off slow and it was like kind of boring and so on and so forth. And I didn't think that at all.
The Russos had said this previously. This movie was going to be a different movie. And it was. I'll give you a great example. This is why Thanos is perhaps one of the best villains ever. In the first movie, Infinity War, he was in control. He didn't do more than he needed to do. Thanos kept on, he knew what his plan was. He wanted to get the Infinity Stones and wipe out half the living beings in the universe. He had a plan then, but yet still, he was in the mix in terms of setting out what he was set out to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And slowly, once he found out that his plan succeeded, slowly he started to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more calculating. Just think about this: when he got to Earth, what did he do? What are you gonna do, Thanos? He said, "I'm gonna wait. And he fought until Tony did the snap and Thanos realized what was happening. You know what he did? He sat down. And he waited.
Right, and he waited. Right.
He stopped fighting because he knew it's over.
Right.
But I think we should add the caveat, ladies and gentlemen, this was a younger Thanos who learned from the older version of Thanos that guess what? Even if you snap out half of the universe, there are still people who are left in the other half that survive who will regret and who will not move on. And that was the whole point. They will not move on and they will regret and they will rebel and they will resent what you did. So he says, I guess I got to start the whole universe all over again. The younger version learned from the future version that got killed and got his head chopped off by Thor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's where we were. As far as now an impact of the future, what do you boys see as far as the future? I think the time hopping and the multiverse hopping set some standards. And I think Pablo and I have spoke about it with the Ancient One talking to Professor Hulk, which Freddie was telling me some of the people in Brooklyn were saying, don't go near her because you don't know what she's going to do to you. But he went to her anyway because all he wanted was the time stone, and he really didn't know what he was dealing with.
And when she did what she did.
We have now a universe. That's right. She did what she did. We now have a universe where basically there's a lot of multiverse doors that have been opened.
Yes.
But it's funny. Pablo, me and Freddie talked about this. The Ancient One, when Professor Hulk showed up on the roof, she already knew who he was. She already knew what this was about. 5 years from now, Doctor Strange will be Doctor Strange, as she says, the greatest one among us. But it seems like she never did anything to interfere with the timeline because she said if you interfere with the timeline and you start doing stuff, you create another timeline. And this whole time,
we were taking to school, ladies and gentlemen. We were taking.
That's right. We were taking to school.
They were teaching us
this is not what
this
they
is about.
do. That's right. This is not what they do on CW's Flash, where you just run down the hall and come back and everybody's different. That's not how time travel works. And even Tony said that. You just can't do that. We've been saying that on Eggheads for years. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
You start doing that, you create different timelines. So as a writer, you can excuse that, but you just can't do that. But Pablo, going to the future, now that and first of all, I was going to say, now that we are going to the future, but wait a minute. When Cap went back with the hammer and the stones, what did Captain America do? Do we really know at this point? I don't think we do. Pablo, what do you think?
In regards to when Captain America had to go back and put the stones back at the time that they took
Yeah, but
them?
when did he put him back? Did he put him back exactly? And where did he put Thor's hammer? Did he put Thor's hammer back when Thor was in the Dark World? Or did he go back and stop?
I mean, those
Thor
are a lot
from
of-
throwing
That's a
that?
good question.
I think he can.
Those are a lot of one shots right there.
Yeah.
That's if they wanted to, they can do a lot of one shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, when he took the soul gem back, who's he giving it to?
That's a good question. Who is
I
he
want to
giving
see
to?
that
Yeah, because it's the Red Skull.
I want to
still
see
there?
that interaction. I want to see that
Right.
interaction. You know what I'm saying? Those are one shots. They could keep this going. They can keep us going crazy if they wanted to.
They could, but I don't think they
Yeah.
are.
And all because you opened that door. Fred, what do you
I
think?
don't-
Once
they-
Cap went back, he opened so many doors to so many different
I tell you the
things.
truth, I never
happening
even
now.
thought about that until you just brought that up. As for what he possibly would have done,
Oh, thank you.
with
Thank you.
There are a lot of possibilities, things that he could have done with the stones, or where he could have put the hammer. I really don't know. I mean, there is a lot of open possibilities.
But do they want to go
Right.
down that road? I don't know. Those are just one of those questions that will probably never be answered, or will be answered in a discussion, in a group discussion with the Russos. Who knows? I mean, these people are gonna. This is not gonna stop. This is not gonna stop.
What do you mean,
People
like
gonna
those
have
questions?
questions.
Oh yeah, the questions. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this is not going to stop. We'll probably get throughout the coming weeks, months. Who
That's
knows?
what I said
We're
to
gonna
Tracy.
we're going to have answers to some of those questions from them. Exactly. Director's cut. Who knows? We'll see.
That's what I said to Tracy. I said, Tracy, a lot of questions are going to be coming out of the woodwork, as the movie dies down, or even when it's still going. It's a lot of questions going to be asked. A lot,
So now that we know that this is going to happen, Pablo, what's the future? We know we got Spider-Man. We know we got Shang-Chi. We know we got the Eternals. And we know we got Doctor Strange too, whom they're saying Wanda is going to be one of his pupils. Did you guys hear this about Doctor Strange 2?
No, I didn't hear that.
The Scarlet Witch might be a pupil
I did not hear that.
of Doctor Strange.
Really?
That came out over the last 2 days. Yeah.
I did not
There
hear
was
that.
speculation.
You heard that, Tracy?
That'll be interesting.
Tracy, you heard that?
That'll be
Huh?
interesting.
That would be interesting, but
I heard that. I heard that and I read that.
I understand Scarlet Witch being possibly in this Doctor Strange film because of her ability to alter reality. Who knows if that
Yeah.
might come in handy?
right.
Well, let's talk about what Freddie brought up, that earthquake in the Atlantic Ocean that was mentioned
Yes.
by Deani, and was that a hint to Namor?
Right. That's what I got when they talked about the earthquake. They came up
Dude,
with.
not
out
only
there
did you get that, they're already putting up posts. I think
Thinking
we just
that-
got introduced to
that
Submariner.
somehow Submariner is eventually going to come, into the universe. Just a matter of when.
Paula, what do you
Panther-
think?
Black
Was that an
Panther.
intro? Was that an intro?
Of course. They've been hinting at that since Iron Man 2. So this is just another example of this guy is around. We're hinting at you that this guy is around and he's going to be coming real soon. I think most likely in Black Panther 2.
Right. Right.
If that
Which
happens,
characters
that's
in the
1.5
new-
to
in
2
the-
billion right there.
Which characters are you most looking forward to? Freddie and I had a conversation earlier. I said the biggest character right now, after the incredible character that Josh Brolin brought us with Thanos as the number one best villain. But right now, we got Dr. Doom coming in, a correct Apocalypse coming in, Mr. Sinister coming
Magneto.
in. We got a correct Mephisto coming in. We got Galactus is not a bad guy, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm saying it here on Egghead. Galactus is not a bad guy. Galactus doesn't operate on the premise of making it personal. He only does what he must. He does not care. He does not get in concern with the personal goings on between races or species or planets. Galactus only does what he must. But getting back to that, just having these characters back now, I still think you need a Thanos in that universe. I still think you need Thanos if you're going to introduce Adam Warlock.
That's right, Adam Warlock.
Fred and I talked about that earlier.
But I at this point,
yeah, Pablo, wait.
At this point, knowing that Thanos is gone, unless we're talking about another timeline, I don't know. But at this point, they're gonna leave that. If they do ever do Thanos again, it'll probably be so far down the line to possibly connect those characters again. But I doubt it.
You doubt you doubt that Thanos will reappear?
I doubt that. I doubt that we'll see Thanos anytime soon.
Oh no, I agree with you on that, definitely.
But I have a burning question.
Yes.
And I'm asking Tracy this, and then Freddie, you can respond. We had so many theories in regards to how the X-Men would arise. And one of those theories was that it was going to be due to the quantum realm, right?
That was one.
That theory sort of did not play out, per se. So I am wondering, how do the X-Men... I mean, obviously we'll probably get some sort of explanation in Eternals. But it is who knows if we get the X-Men anytime soon. Something has to occur. And I think we'll know after the Eternals, which will set that up. So it's going to be a while. I believe Kevin Feige when he says, we're doing it, but it's not going to be right now.
Yeah.
I understand that from the creative part, but also understand I put the business in. Disney invested a lot of money to get these properties back. I don't know how long Disney's going to sit on not having the X-Men and the Fantastic Four out there. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I will say.
The one thing,
how the mechanism will be used to bring them out. All I know is it will have to come out because too much money was spent on leaving this stuff on the shelf.
I got you. But Freddie, hold on. Before I just want to ask Tracy this. Yeah, they spent a lot of money on the X-Men to get not on the X-Men, but a lot of money to be able to use them. And those guys gotta start producing. But you have to take into account that we still have a slate of movies that are coming out, and they haven't gone into production. How long will these movies take to think about it? Let's count them off once again. Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
that's
Black
1
Widow,
year's
that's
worth.
4.
That's
movies.
That's 2 years worth of movies.
That's what?
That's the next 2 years worth of
Starting,
movies. Because that's now 2020. So you're looking at 2022, 2023
2021
to wonder.
2021, 22.
Well, no, not from the slates that Pablo there's 4 movies that will go in production. But if they do 3 movies in 1 year.
Captain America 2. Most likely, right?
Who?
Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel.
Oh,
that's 5 movies right there.
Yeah, Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah.
And Guardians of the Galaxy
3.
So now you're looking at 2023 to say, will you introduce them now in 2023? Will you do it? Basically, 2023. That's enough years, especially, and Pablo, I'm only saying this, if they do 3 movies a year, that's 3 of the movies gone. Okay, now you go to the next year. You need a repeater for Black Panther, a repeater for Captain Marvel. That's only 2. Mm-hmm. What's that 3rd movie?
Yeah.
You're not gonna rush Doctor Strange, Eternals into production to follow every other year. You're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that.
That's the thing with Marvel. Marvel's not gonna rush at all with any of these characters.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not gonna rush.
These characters are gonna be done eventually. But Marvel, the one thing about Marvel, they take their time. They don't take too much time, but they take their time, and that's one of the ingredients why this universe does work, because they do take their time.
Listen, I'm sure Guardians of the Galaxy 3 may set up Beta Ray Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we're gonna get a Silver Surfer movie prior to any of those X-Men. I think we're gonna get that, because obviously Galactus was done as a disservice, so I'm pretty sure we'll get the real Galactus.
Oh, of course.
And a better Silver Surfer. You know what I'm saying?
I don't need the Fantastic Four to be out before I can unleash the Silver Surfer.
Nah.
Surfer can come first, because that's off-world, that's out in the universe.
Because we know, when we know when Silver Surfer comes, you know Galactus is right behind him, and we want to feel that fear. We see what Galactus does to other planets. We see that. We be like, oh my god, right? And then it's coming to Earth. Come on.
Would you?
We gotta feel that fear as well.
Would you like it or prefer to Lawrence Fishburne reprise the voice of
who?
Silver Surfer.
Galactus? I thought he said he wanted to be Galactus.
No, of Silver Surfer.
Well, yeah, but now you're gonna.
I don't want him around for that. No. I don't want.
I mean, you're gonna get into You want to get into who?
I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like.
I can't do that.
Oh snap! That's Lawrence Fishburne. I know who Lawrence Fishburne sounds like. I don't want to hear Lawrence Fishburne. I want to hear Galactus. Do a Kevin Conroy. Audition the voice that you want for Galactus.
Right.
You're absolutely right. I don't think Galactus should be a reward for an actor.
No.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a reward.
Nah. Everybody wants to get on, but no. Audition. Get the right guy. Find yourself a Kevin Conroy.
Right, exactly.
Find the voice of Galactus. Find the voice of Galactus. I don't want the voice of Lawrence Fishburne. I'm sorry.
Well,
I like Lawrence Fishburne. I've seen a lot of his movies. I think he's a great actor. He's done a hell of a job. But let somebody else come in. I'm pretty sure you'll find it.
Oh, of course, I agree with you. On that.
I don't think we should be rewarding actors that people. I don't think they're gonna operate like that. Oh, we like Joey, so we get a Galactus to Joey.
Yeah.
Joey might not be right for the part.
Yeah.
I mean, All right, getting back to Endgame, boys. Give me your one by one. I guess Freddie, you go first. Give me the positive things that you like with the movie.
There's a lot of positives to take out of it. One, but it was more towards the battle scene. That was real positive to me, how that was presented. And the one positive thing that I enjoyed was the fact that to see finally Steve Rogers grab that hammer and did what he had to do, which we knew all along that he was capable of doing that, but to actually see it was one of the big positive moments for me.
For me, I like the pacing because there's a lot to understand first. There's a lot there's a lot of answers to questions that people had that they had to sort of, answer in that way. It can't be, again, man, it can't be, people who say, oh, I think it was a little bit too, it can't be action all the time. It can't be Hulk smash all the time. It can't.
But that's what people like.
They gotta sit. They got no. Well, apparently, is on his way to $3 billion. They liked it enough. So, what I'm saying is, this was a different movie. They said it was gonna be a different movie, and I enjoyed seeing the aftermath.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I think everything was timed perfectly. I think it was timed very perfectly. For me, the Captain America getting the hammer, they should have paid it off there and not when Vision took it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I forgot about that. In Age of Ultron.
They should have paid it off there, because for me, being that Vision took it and it was a moment that really nobody was expecting. But to have Cap move it and grab it, when he just moved it, people were like, "Oh snap!"
Yeah.
Right.
But
to finally see him do it now, yo, when he said Avengers Assemble,
oh man,
people went crazy.
People went ridiculous. They went ridiculous. The audience was cheering and screaming, and then they went into this like shh moment because they knew what he was getting ready to say. Like people,
I haven't been in an environment at the movie theaters quite like this before. I remember being in film, in movies, and everybody get excited for certain parts, but not like this. Not like this.
Yeah, it'll be a while, but for now, I had to say
name
right.
me another film. Name me another film where it had all these emotions.
Right. It definitely, yeah. I had to think about that, but for now, you're right. So much emotions
for now and later.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah, I mean, listen, I still would have loved to see the Hulk do at least maybe some kind of thunderclap. Maybe that would have probably gave me goosebumps.
That would have been dope. Being that situation, what it was, that he could have wiped out a whole joint by doing a thunderclap. That would have been dope. That would have been really done. They did the Hulk a disservice. He oh my god, that is the biggest disappointment for me. That's the biggest disappointment.
Listen,
that the Hulk didn't.
Listen, when you saw that Natalie died, right then and there, I was thinking about our conversation. What if maybe he'll go Hulk if when Natalie dies or something like that, he's going to lose it and have this rematch with Thanos, because that's what everyone was waiting to see. I mean, everyone was waiting to see that. That's one of the things that people. That's one of the things that everyone got.
wrong.
It's like waiting for the main event. Like, okay, we see all of this, but we went for the main event.
I swear to God, I thought it was going to happen,
and I did too. And everyone else in that theater thought the same way.
And the fact that they didn't do it was upsetting. It was really upsetting, Trey. It was really upsetting. That's what
I'm sitting back listening to the positive, negatives. Absolutely right. The Hulk, Thanos,
got shafted.
Thriller in Manila. We didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean,
are we going to move on from that? We don't have a choice. We have to move on.
Exactly. We don't have a choice.
That's one of the things that we have to say. Yeah, we felt is unbelievable. We didn't get it. We didn't get the Thriller Manila. I don't know what to say.
That is so disappointing. It is so disappointing. It
really is. You can see that 1,000 times.
You know why everybody was expecting it? Because everybody knew that he needed to redeem himself, and they did not do it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what everyone is saying. To redeem himself and what happened the last time. And then the fact, again, that Natalie died. And I thought, if anything, you did this. This is the reason why she died. So after all this that took place. So you figured the anger and the Hulk coming out and really giving it to him was going to be another goosebump, chilling, hair-raising moment. But no. But there's a reason. They do this for a reason. I'm telling you, there's a reason, and we probably will never know. There's going to be, like you said, a lot of questions asked. Eventually, it's going to come out.
I want to hear the explanation for that. I want to hear the explanation because I don't think any explanation is understandable.
There has to be.
Well, as I said, both the writers, McFeely and Marcus, will be in New York City this Thursday at, I can't give the location out, but they will be here. Maybe somebody in that audience will present that question to them. What happened with the Hulk Thanos rematch? Was it too long? You didn't want to do it? Or were you committed on writing and let's call it what it is, gentlemen. Were you committed in writing a goodbye letter to the fans on behalf of Robert Downey Jr. and the Iron Man character? Or did that take such a precedence that all of the little other things that you guys might have wanted to do, maybe the studio said no. And if you say a Hulk Thanos rematch would have taken away from the goodbye letter, maybe it would have. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe people would have walked out of there talking about that rematch, and more than likely, just the fact that we're talking about it, just the fact that people are talking about what we didn't get, maybe it would have taken away from the goodbye letter that Marvel Studio wanted to send to these two guys that I guess help create or help build the universe that they're in. But we will still, and I guess forevermore, feel cheated.
Yes.
I think it was a huge oversight. I don't think they thought about it.
You don't think?
Again,
You don't think they? You don't think?
I'm gonna say it.
You don't think they thought about
I
that?
don't think so. How can they? I have to believe that. You know why? Because that is the obvious thing to do. For me, it's the obvious thing to do, and you didn't do it. For what reason? It just seems an incompetent decision right there. I'm sorry. I think it was an incompetent decision.
Whose idea was it not to have that Hulk Thanos rematch? Well, if we do that, people aren't going to talk about Cap and Tony. Yeah, they will, but everybody wanted to see the Hulk kick Thanos's.
All he did was came out and he ran towards the crowd, threw a couple of punches, and that was.
Well, he did bring back the other half of the universe that was snapped away.
Come on.
That he was actually strong enough.
Come on, Tracy.
Yeah, I know.
Stop,
I'm being
political.
Yeah,
you're being political. Yeah, come on now, really. That I had the same look. I had the same look as Scott had when he was in a diner, and I'm like, well, what is this? And so
for all the moments that were dope in Endgame that I can watch over and over again. That moment that the Hulk didn't do what he was set out, that we thought he was gonna be set out to do, didn't happen. I'm always gonna remember that.
Yes.
I'm always gonna remember it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
the biggest missed opportunity was that for me.
And if you notice in Endgame, his Professor Hulk character had no intentions. He didn't bother. I mean, he didn't like Thanos, but it was not about who to prove the strong. He didn't have it. He just wasn't really,
when he got dropped off in New York and he was making believe that he was angry and that was pathetic.
That was pathetic. The whole I have this brain now and this brawn, but I'm not like that Hulk in 2012 and just going just smash and just
they
I'm not
have to redeem him,
right? And I was like, oh, come on, man, he's serious. Seriously,
I have to redeem him. We have to get it. We have to do something for that. Somebody has to be like, yo, this is what the people are saying. We gotta get the Hulk back in good people's stands because they, okay, we want to sell Hulk toys, okay.
They're gonna sell Hulk. They're gonna sell Hulk.
Hulk is not a lovable dude, yo. That's not him. And if you make Hulk, God forbid, you make Wolverine a lovable guy.
That's a problem.
Wolverine is a savage.
That's a problem.
He's a killer.
Yeah, I mean, once again, here we go. Once again, with the future plans for these characters, you have all the characters back. All you can do is look forward to the future. But the truth is, in what vehicle will you bring the Hulk back? We won't be seeing Mark Ruffalo's Hulk for a long time. And maybe when the Hulk does come back, it probably won't be Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, I would assume so.
You would assume that it won't be Mark?
Some of these characters,
Trey,
like you
Trey,
said,
check this out. Trey, they better not think that just because you may give Wolverine's classic suit back, that's enough.
Like that's enough for the fans? That's enough for the audience? Just the fact that he got this.
Yeah, and then he's this whole totally jokey, funny, or lovable. Wolverine is an animal. I'm sorry. Wolverine is an animal, man.
Right.
He's an animal. He's a beast.
Right.
He's a
savage.
They
have the opportunity
he's a killer,
now.
He's a murderer. He's an assassin.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They have the opportunity now to really do the full exposition of the Marvel comic book history with Task Force X, with the Captain America Super Soldier Serum project. There's no fences now for anything. I'm just wondering. There's a lot of things being talked about. Secret Wars is being talked about. They're talking about Dark Avengers being talked about introducing Osborn and having those Dark Avengers. But one of those Dark Avengers was Wolverine's son. But maybe right now at this point in time, the Marvel Cinematic Universe can't do that. But there are a lot of plots out there. But then once again, as I said, by the time, because Marvel is tactful in the way they create their projects, we may not see Mark Ruffalo's Hulk again.
And I'm fine.
We know we're getting we know we're getting Falcon. We know we're getting Bucky. We know that these people are still in the mix. We know we're getting Captain Marvel. But as far as that Hulk, by the time they say, okay, we're going to write Hulk in the script, that might be 6 years down the line. Are we keeping Ruffalo? No, we might get somebody else to play the Hulk.
Yeah, we might get someone else.
I think
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but I think that they owe us an explanation. Owe us a Hulk that we wanted to see, that we really wanted to see, in the way how we wanted Hulk to present itself.
They messed up. Pretty much, they messed up. I think they know, and I think they know it. And if not, they will find out. But anyway, Trey, you sent an article regarding Marvel fatigue.
Yes, I sent that article on purpose that while we're all talking about Endgame, everything is Endgame. Endgame is even on the bus stops. But still, is there Marvel fatigue? Now, would they say, is it Marvel fatigue? I think that article and that show that gentleman put on, so we don't slander people here, that article, is he trying to say the genre? Because if he looked at the Shazam numbers, maybe he knows what he's talking about. But I'm not taking a shot at Shazam. Shazam only had about $5 for lunch money. He could not go out and buy a steak dinner. He only had $5. So I don't blame Shazam. I don't take shots at Shazam. But what's happening to Shazam, that's kind of, it's sad, but it's a good thing. It's critically acclaimed. The kids love it. It's got a high favorable rating, but that movie just ain't making no money. It's just not. I don't know where we go. This Eternals, let's see where this pans out. But you can't replace the fact that we didn't get that Thanos Hulk fight. And the next couple of 5 movies, you can't readdress that. So it looks like we're pushing on forward. And speaking of pushing on forward, how do you feel about Thor Journey in the Galaxy, the Guardians of the Galaxy? I don't even think James Gunn wrote a script or a treatment for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which included Thor.
I don't think.
Now, I don't know if he did this or and before you know it, like Freddie said earlier, Guardians of the Galaxy might open up and Thor might have been dropped off in another planet.
Right, and that's what I said.
Who says he's in the movie?
He's probably not even in the movie in Galaxy 3.
That's what he said.
Of course, you saw him being in the ship, in Endgame, but that doesn't mean that in 3 that he'll still be riding along with them. They probably dropped him off somewhere in the galaxy. I don't think that they're going to continue showing him in the ship. I doubt that seriously. I mean,
and
it's
did
possible.
you gentlemen realize that when Tony Stark snapped his fingers, Gamora disappeared too? So now they're out looking for Gamora. Search for Gamora. Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. Search for Gamora. Introducing Adam Warlock. But then once again, Pablo, what's Adam Warlock without Thanos? I mean,
well, you got the Magus.
Okay.
You have possibilities. You have storylines that you can throw out there. You just gotta be very careful of how you do it.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. Listen, man. Again, I don't have any concerns. Well, not so much, but because they messed up on the Hulk. I think they'll do the right thing at some point, but they gotta know that they did the Hulk. They did Hulk wrong.
And they will. I mean, Marvel.
They did Hulk wrong.
And they will. I mean, listen, Marvel, throws in a couple of hiccups, maybe a little, not a lot, but, very, very little. And I'm sure that down the road, somehow they'll either make up for it or give us something in either way in explaining A, B, C, and D about why they didn't do this or do that, so on and so forth.
Hey, yo, Trey.
Will Spider-Man Far From Home make $1 billion because it's the first movie after Endgame that still continues the continuity?
That's right.
Yes.
That is the end. That's the end.
Spider-Man Far From Home has now been stamped. It will make $1 billion. Why? Because everybody now wants to know what happened.
Exactly, because
Of course,
that was
but
an easy home run.
That is the whole point of this. But I don't think we're gonna get like super explanations as to what happened. I think we're gonna have some sort of questions answered because apparently it takes place a few minutes after Endgame.
could this
Not a few,
Yep.
or it takes place like immediately after Endgame.
right? It takes place after Endgame. You know,
So people want to see. I think people want to see if there is any connection there as to what
for the next phase.
effect that had, on people or whatever the case may be, because people were brought back 4 to 5 years later, so it can't be normal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It can't be normal.
Well, I'm for one looking forward to seeing Far From Home to see what is it, see how it will end, how it's connected to the end of this phase. And I guess I'm looking at it as, they didn't do any post credits in Endgame. The only thing that people were talking about was this sound, which was supposed to be Tony hammering the Mark I when he was making Mark I in the cave.
Yeah.
Okay, we get that.
Yeah.
Will they probably show the pre-post and 1 post and 2 posts in Far From Home, and then that's when they'll probably show or give us an indication what to expect, perhaps in the next phase, maybe. Is that a possibility?
I'm pretty sure they're gonna show end credit scenes. I'm absolutely sure of that.
Right.
They're gonna start over, start the wheels turning again on that. What it will be, who knows? Probably more Spider-Man because he has a 3rd film.
It could be more Spider-Man, but it could be more Spider-Man and somehow getting a hint of who else is going to be introduced.
We're gonna get Easter. We're gonna get Easter eggs, so I don't think that'll be a problem. I think most likely we will get some name drops, possibly some things in the background. Perhaps the Baxter Building being built in the background when Peter is swinging.
Oh, right.
So there's a bunch of possibilities. Right now we can't call it because we haven't seen Spider-Man yet.
So if Spider-Man at the end of the movie gets an invitation to Xavier School for Gifted Students,
really?
Is that too early?
That would be dope.
That would be crazy, or it's too early?
That would be dope. But we also know, that he was never really down with X-Men. He would just, join them in a fight, but he wasn't really like an X-Men,
No, we know that.
Right.
No, we know that.
But
he's got.
But yeah, that would be
he's
cool.
sought out. He sought out the X-Men before, like Professor X. He sought him out. I mean, there's connection there. Spidey can connect with everybody, yo.
Oh yeah,
that's the beauty of being Spider-Man.
Spidey wanted to be down.
He can be.
Spidey connects with everybody.
Right,
exactly.
From magic to science to mutants to space. Spidey connects with everybody.
Yeah.
And the only other character that me and Freddie was talking about earlier, the only other character that's a big plug for everybody else is Ben Grimm's The Thing.
Yes.
And I just can't wait to see how Kevin Feige gets Ben Grimm, who was the most popular member of the Fantastic Four, believe it or not.
It wasn't Johnny Storm, right? It wasn't Johnny Storm.
At one point in time, Ben Grimm was the Thing was the second most popular character in the Marvel Universe. Between the 70s and the 80s, he had 3 books.
Yeah.
And I know in today's world, he had 3 platforms that he had 2 5 million followers. So you guys understand, the thing was the thing, and then it changed in the 80s for whatever reason. But John Byrne's Fantastic Four run, you bring in the science of it, you bring in Reed Richards, and Freddie and I know it was said before about Captain Marvel being the face of the universe. Once Reed Richards is introduced in a Tony Stark less, Captain America less MCU, Reed Richards will be the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He might be the face of the Marvel Universe. He might.
Oh, then who else? It won't be Captain Marvel.
Why not?
I just think...
Why not?
It won't.
Why not?
Really?
Why not? I mean, why? Why can't? Why? What,
Because
listen, Kevin Feige.
The other heroes, and let me tell you, because the other heroes won't gravitate to her as they would Reed Richards.
Kevin Feige is going to take
even in the books. Everybody graduates. Excuse me.
Kevin Feige is going to take his time with this and really think on this, and you know how Marvel has become diverse, and how they shown and promoted, women leadership, diversity, race, and so on and so forth. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if Captain Marvel will become the face and become the leader of the next phase. I mean, yes, I can see Reed Richards as well. I mean, no doubt, that's definitely something that I see as well. But Kevin probably is looking at it as, hey, listen, if I do this with Reed, would I be questioned about why is Captain Marvel not the leader? And
listen. It's gonna be Captain Marvel is gonna be the sort of leader, I think, in this next phase, right? And I think Reed Richards will be comparable to Tony Stark, but in a different way. In terms of the intellect.
Right. I mean, listen, Reed Richards is not cocky. Well, is he? No, he's not. He's
not cocky.
He's not
he's
cocky.
Just smart.
He's just very smart, right?
He loves science. He loves all that stuff, physics, and he loves all that stuff.
Right.
I don't think there's gonna be like Captain America. Although Captain America is one of those. He's Cap. You know what I'm saying? He's a leader. He's a born leader.
Right.
Captain Marvel is gonna have that same characteristic, but like Tony Stark, Tony was the man. There was no questions. Who's the man in the Avengers? It's Tony Stark. It's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Reed Richards will probably take that mantle as well, as Reed Richards is the man.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see who they would actually, put that in the forefront. Who would put in the forefront in the next universe? That would be very interesting.
You mean cast?
No, I'm just saying it would be very interesting to see who they put in the forefront as for, the leader of the, next phase, the next universe, I'm saying. And it would be very interesting.
But they've already said it. They've already said it's going to be Captain Marvel, man.
Well, they said it's going to be Captain Marvel.
Right.
I just don't think that's going to pan out. I just think that the public conscience.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because the public already,
and it will be
the public already hates Captain Marvel. Already they hate this character.
No, wait.
Not all.
She made $1 billion, so forget all that.
She what?
Forget all. She made $1 billion, so forget all
No,
that.
she made $1 billion, but I'm saying, yes.
Did she make $1 billion, or did the studio make $1 billion? The name brand make $1 billion? That's the question.
The name brand, but I'm not gonna be too. Listen, Jason Momoa made $1 billion. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, if it would have been, listen, reviews weren't bad. And obviously heading into Endgame, because this is the last piece of the puzzle that we need to know in order to find out about the next film, correct?
Correct.
So people went to go see that movie, and those who enjoyed it went to see it again. Repeat watch. So people saw it again. Captain Marvel wasn't a bad film. It wasn't, and this is a conversation that you and I, Tracy, had in regards to Kevin Feige let his guard down and was putting he went all in on Captain Marvel. He was bigging her up too much.
Yeah.
And he made a mistake of bigging her up too much.
And really,
the hype was there for her, but people, and I said it from the beginning, I don't feel that.
The Wonder Woman scared him. Wonder Woman scared him to death.
Yeah. And he's already said it in the past that he regrets not having Captain Marvel out before Wonder Woman.
Yeah. He did say that.
Oh, out, period.
Right. Just out earlier.
He messed up.
Yeah, he messed up. He did.
Is anybody going to tell him? I don't think so.
Not really, no.
Why? Because Captain Marvel made $1 billion.
Exactly.
But Can she make another $1 billion? That is the question. That is the question right there.
That is the question. Can Captain Marvel, with all the angst and animosity and all the other stuff that's going on, will Captain Marvel make another $1 billion if they do not include A-Force? If they don't put her together with the other female superheroes in the MCU, will Captain Marvel make $1 billion? And you know what? I'm not feeding them a storyline, but I'm sure they're probably thinking, well, what can she do next? Well, since she doesn't spend a lot of time on Earth, do we keep her on Earth or do we take her back out to space? I don't know. What she said in Endgame, even though that changed, you won't see me for a long time, because she was trying to help people deal with the fact that half of their population. But now that that's all over, will Carol come back home, or will she stay out in space?
But man, you gotta admit that scene. Like I said, there's a lot of goosebump scenes, but that scene where the ship, started concentrating on the skies and started shooting towards the atmosphere. And
Trey,
I mean, that was actually something to. That's something that's also came a little chills and goosebumps. But what you going to say?
But let me ask you this, Trey. If Captain Marvel comes back home onto Earth, what sort of situation will put her at a disadvantage that it'll be believable? What will the stakes be like? Is this...
You don't have stakes. Her stakes are what she's going to fight shoplifters? You kidding me? This woman wields the power cosmic. Are you kidding me?
So why go back to Earth?
She wields the power cosmic. So why bring her back to Earth?
That's a tough thing to pull off then. Because the world...
Well, the one thing is, if she's going to be the face of the universe, but she's not on Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means she's out there. But then if I got the Surfer come in, that means I got her out there, the Surfer come in. And what about the Nova Corps? Am I getting the Nova Corps?
The Nova Corps, right.
Yeah.
Am I getting... So I guess you got to leave her back out in space, because unless it's something major, she's really unnecessary on Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, this woman is like we said, the biggest, the best.
Yeah.
That was a curse. You should have never, ever did that.
Yeah.
So now she can't fight the Green Goblin. Now she can't fight the Mole Man. Well, maybe she can fight the Mole Man, but eventually she probably would win. Now she can't fight. Well, she can fight Dr. Doom, but then that would be a one battle. She wouldn't. Well, with Doom, you'll never win. But you like you said, you go through these scenarios. But then will we be introduced to Kang the Conqueror? Will we be introduced to the Absorbing Man? People that can fit her type of power level. Because unless she's fighting the Hulk in every movie, like you just said, do I need Captain Marvel to fight shoplifters? Then if that's the point, then what about Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Shang-Chi? What about all of it? Do I need Captain Marvel on Earth?
Right.
Ooh,
right.
That's true. But then she signed a 7-picture deal. She's already got 2 in the hole.
Yeah.
What's the other 5 movies?
I think she'll be in other people's films.
Bump.
I think she'll be in other people's films. I think perhaps some of those movies that she's in are not going to be big stakes, and it'll be more personal sort of film. Who knows? Because, like you said, she's the biggest.
Yeah.
Are
we expecting big things? I don't know.
I think as the next phase approaches, or when it starts to approach, we're going to see not only things.
But I will give a caveat to Kevin.
We're not going to just see
I'll give a caveat.
I mean, we're not just going to see everything just happening on planet Earth, but I think there's going to be a lot shown in space as well. Little stories, cosmic stories as well, being told in the next phase. So yes, there would definitely probably be a possibility of seeing her, more often, every little now and then. So.
And of course, if the Super Skrull shows up, yeah, she has to fight him.
Yeah.
If some other characters, if Apocalypse shows up, yeah, she has to fight him. Yes, those characters, yes, she has to be here for that. But
we'll see, man. Because listen, man, they've set the bar high, man.
Yeah, they set the bar high. You're gonna have to start bringing in the engineers. You're gonna have to bring in the Kree scroll. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Only, like you just said, only to justify her existence. Since at this point in time, even though I will give a caveat to Kevin Feige, he did say once the Eternal movie comes out, they're the biggest, best. I'm starting to sound like P.T. Barnum, but it's true. Biggest, best. So, like you saying, you're setting these bars where basically Captain Marvel should only talk to Hulk and Thor so far, because all the other characters haven't been introduced.
Yeah. Right.
I sound like War Machine. We all in this superhero game. Where were you? Right? Right?
Basically asking the question that we all ask.
Yeah, I mean, and as you said, Fred, we're going to have a lot of questions. Even the questions for Endgame will eventually die off. And I guess everybody's just going to move forward.
Because it's over with.
Yeah,
the only things that we're probably going to see in other films as a result of Endgame is the Tilda Swinton, the Ancient One's explanation of the multiverse or the alternate reality or whatever the case.
You might get some Watcher. The Watchers might show up.
Things that were birthed from that event. And one of my theories is, remember, I think in the beginning they were talking about when Thanos did his snap, it let out a ripple of effect of radiation throughout the universe. Correct?
That's true. And remember what they also said, maybe this is the universe. When you mess with the universe answers back. That was in that movie.
Okay. And remember, that radiation was mostly what Banner said. Mostly gamma.
It was gamma.
Gamma.
Right.
Yeah, mostly gamma radiation. Yeah.
Maybe that ripple effect of radiation causes mutants.
Causes what?
Causes mutants.
Yeah, listen, however they tied it in, just like you said, just like you also said, we can know that the consciousness of the entire universe being grief-stricken because half of the universe was killed would probably lead into the formation of Doctor Strange's next villain, Nightmare.
Yeah.
Because the whole universe was in a nightmare, and the thoughts and feelings of this thing manifested itself into one chaotic creature.
That's gonna be very, very interesting. That's gonna be very, very interesting. Why? Because it goes back to Endgame.
It goes back to Endgame. It connects to the former phase. It connects to the former phase. All right, gentlemen, it's 12 o'clock. We're gonna shut this one down and come back for part 2 tomorrow. Because it seems like we got a lot to talk about.
A lot.
All right.
A lot.